What's going on, YouTube? Craig here with ATT.
Hey guys, I'm Chris.
And today, we're going to be all talk together, not all tech together. But before we get started, I want to remind you that when this channel hits 500 subscribers, I'm going to give away an Amazon gift card for $50. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Alright, YouTube. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I'm Craig.
And I'm Chris.
And today, we're going to talk about something that's a little bit different. Not a product review. We are going to talk about our views on the Nintendo Labo. So, Chris, what do you think of the Nintendo Labo?
Well, full disclosure, I was prepared for a different topic, but we started talking, and this seems to be something that's kind of topical. And so, yeah, Labo. This is Nintendo's new effort to, I guess, cash in on their youthful image, and I mean it's not that different than what they were going after the Wii with. It's kind of it's novelty, but it's ingenuity. I think it's kind of a cool idea.
I agree with you. Now, my question to you is, and for those of you out there who don't know Chris, he's a big VR guy.
And a big nerd.
Yes, we're all nerds here. Do you think that this is Nintendo's answer to VR? Are they trying to differentiate themselves and be different enough without going full VR? Because the Switch can't do VR, I don't think. I don't think it's strong enough. Do you think they're trying to differentiate themselves from PlayStation and from Xbox and go their own path? And Nintendo does this quite often.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I remember when the Switch was still kind of being rumored in its infancy, Nintendo was talking about the fact that it would do VR, that the Switch is going to do VR, and
which it won't.
And people who knew their stuff were kind of like, really? Especially once the specs came out, and we're like, this thing can barely run like Xbox 360 games, let alone VR. And I mean, we see what even the PS4 Pro, everything is like massively optimized, and it still struggles to do some of the games that are kind of like staples on PC. So it's like kind of the Switch is never going to do that. Nintendo's never been one for following the crowd. They don't care about graphics. They don't care about sound. They've always been kind of marching to their own drumbeat, and that was sometimes their own detriment.
Yeah, I mean, with the Wii U, Nintendo had a big shortfall there. They've capitalized with the Switch, which we both own one. I mean, we bought it with our own money. We both love them. Nothing but positives for the most part.
Yeah, I would say I was probably more hesitant than Craig was. We had this conversation. I was like, I haven't bought a Nintendo since an N64. I don't care. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. I mean, I guess I am wearing a Nintendo controller, but
yeah.
But anyways,
it doesn't matter.
Full circle. Now I'm just like, yeah, Nintendo, Mario. It's won me back, and I think that is a very similar story if you look at the sales numbers.
Yeah, I mean they capitalized big, and with this Labo sort of collaboration or thing they're building, when I first saw it announced, I thought this could be the first misstep of Nintendo. I did. I'm not a fan of it. Yes, it's for younger audiences. Obviously, I'm not a younger audience. Will I get one? For sure I will, just to review.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to show it off. I want to try it.
Bullshit, just to review. You would have bought it just because
I'm gonna
you need to have it.
I'm going to wear the robot suit. It's going to be awesome. For sure. Okay? But my main problems with this is one, when the Wii came out, they had just a ton of peripherals. They had the tennis rackets, the golf clubs, the Link crossbow gun sort of thing, and none of that was really used after the fact. It was used for just a core, a few games, and then it was left aside. And that scares me with Labo. The other thing that scares me with Labo is I hope the quality is there. Now, Nintendo has always made good quality consoles. The controllers are fine. Everything in that regard, first party. But we're dealing with cardboard. And we're dealing with kids in cardboard.
So now when I first heard Labo, I remember I actually, it came out of nowhere, and the video hit YouTube. And I remember thinking, it's so Nintendo, first of all, and it's brilliant. I mean, the cardboard thing is the first thing that comes to mind. I think for everyone is like, is it going to hold up? I think that's another conversation I want to talk about. But I think just backtracking a little bit, do I think this is their answer to VR? I don't think Nintendo feels like they need to answer to VR. I don't think they care. I mean, they don't forget, Nintendo did Virtual Boy. They've done VR. They did VR.
They started VR, I guess.
I mean, it was
in the 90s.
It was a Game Boy in your face that was red.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't think that they feel the need. I mean, I guess they proved that VR can happen on a low-powered system. But regardless, I think that this is just a very much a Nintendo thing. I mean, if you look at the Wii, the attrition rate on the Wii, it's sold crazy. But the Wii had a ton of shovelware. Not just peripheral wise.
No, that's true.
And I mean, yes, their peripheral stuff. I started to get almost a Sega Genesis feel, where it was like, here's the Sega CD, here's the 32X, and
look at the exercise board for Nintendo.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people bought it. They're like, oh, it's gonna make everybody fit. It's gonna make everybody great. And
yeah, but then people were like, wait a second, I like to play video games.
I want to sit on a couch and relax.
That's
the problem, right? And so they went on there. You could go to GameStop or EB Games or wherever you're from, and you could buy a balance board very quickly. So you're right. I mean, the attrition rate for the the Wii was high, and they did have a lot of shovelware and a lot of things that, let's say, missteps.
Yep. And is this one of their missteps? I don't know. I mean, you've probably seen other tech sites and reviewers talking about, well, right now it seems like Nintendo can do no wrong. I mean, the Switch is just absolutely setting sales records. It's their highest selling system. And it's outselling the Wii. It's outselling the Super Nintendo. I mean, I think it's even outselling like some of the Game Boys as far as just pure numbers at this stage in the game. It's definitely captured people's, I guess, imaginations. I think it's just the idea that they can play console-type games mobile-wise. So, yes, they're kicking ass right now. But is this another thing that people are going to gravitate towards? I think, yes. I think they're going to sell like crazy.
Yeah.
I think, so, quality, to what Craig was talking about, I think the cardboard thing is, are they going to hold up? No. They're not going to hold up. They're not. They're designed for kids. I mean, are adults going to build them and put them on their shelves? Yeah, and they're going to be great for that. For kids, are they going to hold up? Probably not, but then here comes the question. I mentioned to Craig that Engadget recently had a video where they were actually at an expo, and Nintendo was there, and they had kind of a makerspace. So they had it on site. They had the cardboard sheets out. Everybody was able to pop out their own cardboard, put it together, try out the instructions on the Switch. They had everything but the robot suit available for people to actually...
Which I think is the coolest one out there.
Well, the robot suit was there.
Yeah.
They had Nintendo reps, and they were walking around with the robot suit.
Oh, okay, but nobody could use it.
No, but it's definitely the most... It's quite robust. You can see people walking around with using it. If you had people building it, first of all, it would take them half the day to probably build it, because they actually mentioned that some of these Labos, even the more basic ones, they're not quick to make.
No, you're gonna need adult supervision. If you're somebody with small kids, you're gonna have to help the small kid.
But the one thing that did come up with Engadget was durability, and they said, yeah, this is not going to hold up. They said even the stuff on display there, because they had pre-built ones that people could like play with if they didn't want to take the time and build one, and they said that even then you could see things starting to wiggle. Okay. You could see things starting to wear out. But then the question was brought up, and I think it's very valid, is do kids get bored of things quick enough? I don't have a kid. You do. Is their attention span there enough that when they build this RC car, is it going to hold up long enough?
And I think Nintendo, again, they make good stuff. I think it will hold up long enough. What I'm interested to see, and this is something that, and we haven't even talked about this, third-party Labo support. I have a feeling that Nintendo will put out their first-party stuff, and within the first month or two, you will see companies out of Japan and small companies, independent companies, and then big companies like Mad Catz and things like that, just thrown out just tons of Labo stuff.
Well, it's cheap. It's cardboard. But is Nintendo
cardboard?
But is Nintendo going to allow it? Because you have to understand though that it's not just cardboard cutouts. It's software. I mean, you buy. It's going to be like $80 Canadian.
Yes.
For the
that's like 60 Americans.
So they call like the starter pack.
Yeah.
And it comes with pretty much everything you've seen in the commercials for the most part. So it's like the RC car, the piano, the house, the fishing rod, the motorcycle. All of those come with that. And so that's quite a few experiences. And the thing that they said with Engadget was, the games are good. Like, they're pretty good for what they are. Like, I mean, they're like, the fishing game, they're like, it's pretty fun. They're like, the tension actually feels, like, really good on it. The house, they said, is kind of like the one that's kind of like, really feels like a tech demo. There's not really a lot to it. Young kids might, like, get a kick out of it. But they're like, the motorcycle game, pretty fun. I mean, the robot game, again, just like the robot suit itself, seems to be the most robust. That's also going to be another $80, it sounds like.
Yes.
Just the robot suit and that game. So, I mean, you talk about durability, that seems to be the one that I think is most likely to break like that with kids. Because kids are going to be kids.
Jumping around, kicking, throwing punches, and they're going to want to wear it without playing the game probably too.
And they're like, Mom and Dad will buy me another one.
That's
like,
right.
They don't have any concept of that.
That's why I feel like the third-party market will be huge, and they won't sell the software. They will just sell the cardboard. And imagine the overhead. If you could sell, you know, these people have already bought an $80 game and this robot suit, and then the robot suit breaks, but we're just going to sell the robot suit for $30. It could take $5 to make, and they're selling it for $30.
But is Nintendo going to allow that?
I don't think Nintendo can stop it.
Well, can you imagine? So, what immediately comes to mind when I hear Labo is I think of, you might remember the name of the game. It was the Lego game where you bought the Lego sets.
Oh, Lego Dimensions.
There you go.
I think so. And
so you, for any of you that don't know what that is, I thought it was brilliant. Again, it was another thing where it was like, Legos bring out a Lego game, which is super successful, and then of course they give you a little Lego set, and you get to build that, and they give you instructions, and then you take the characters like amiibos, and you can put them into the video games you have, and as you get more characters, you could add new characters and their abilities to the existing levels that came in the game. So it was very much taking the Lego games, taking Lego, and bringing them together. I couldn't imagine Lego ever allowing anyone to bring out competitive Lego. Although I guess in that case, the one thing that kind of allowed them to have more proprietary control was that the Lego characters themselves ended up being like readable amiibos.
Yes.
That kind of kept that on lockdown. But again, Nintendo is going to want full control over, you would think, the sale of these cardboard, because this is where the money is. I mean, they're worth nothing.
When I look at Nintendo right now with the Switch, if you go on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca or whatever, and just type in Switch controllers, you will get a few Joy-Cons, you'll get a Pro controller, and then you will get an absolute bevy of third-party controllers for it.
Like the ones that you had an upcoming review there.
There'll be an upcoming review on the Orsley ones soon here. Yeah, if you go onto any site and look in Nintendo Switch docks, you'll get the Nintendo Switch dock, and then there are just a ton of these Chinese docks. And
of varying degrees
of quality and success, But Nintendo can't stop the companies from creating these extra peripherals, because I don't know if there's anything really proprietary there. And there's nothing that Nintendo can do to stop a company, from making a cardboard cutout that just happens to fit a Joy-Con and a Switch tablet.
And certain games lend themselves to just even, I think, creative parents who want to be a little more hands-on crafty. I could see you with your son. I mean, the RC car, for example, it's just two Joy-Cons, and they rumble in conjunction with each other that causes it to kind of like turn and move forward.
Yeah.
I mean, IGN tried, they had a video where they actually made their own cardboard RC car, took their Joy-Cons and just made them rumble.
Yes.
And it moved to a degree. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, I could see parents, and this is something that Engadget talked about, is that Nintendo's pretty smart. I mean, yes, there's a reliability standpoint, but at the same time, this is also a very brilliant move on Nintendo's part, because they have taken video games and then they've now trying to combine them with something that is very creative, and it makes it for parents. It makes it so that they feel like they're at least, being a little more hands-on. It's less just kind of like droning out onto a video game for their kids. I mean, there's that. It is an easy sell to parents.
It's a super easy sell to parents. I mean, if you have parents buying the Lego Dimensions games or the Skylander games where, there's that cost of entry of the $80 for the game and you get the dock and all that kind of jazz, and then you got to buy all these toys as well, and those things sold just ridiculously well, some of them. So I think parents are on board. I mean, my son, I definitely pick one up for him, just because it is a definitely cool thing. But again, a 4-year-old boy and a robot suit, it could be very hard on him. Like, not hard on him, sorry, but hard on the actual product itself. And I would be all for a third-party setup. And even to go even a little bit further, I mean, with the internet, what would stop somebody? There's a lot of smart people out there on the internet just saying, here's how you make your own. Here's the dimensions. Print off this template, trace it, cut it, and you're done.
Well, but you need the software.
You need the software.
Oh, you mean for like
replacement parts? Because I don't know, and I know when the Labo was first announced, there was talk about Nintendo releasing just cardboard hardware.
Yeah, and you nailed it. I didn't even think of that. That could be Nintendo's killer app for this. Is if they're smart, like, it's not reliable. It's not reliable. That's the whole point. We want you to buy another sheet of cardboard that we make for a cent and sell for $15. $15. That could be awesome.
I mean, it's planned obsolescence. I mean, Apple just got busted doing that with their phones, making them slow down because the battery wasn't as strong.
Don't get me started.
I know. This is Nintendo's thing.
We'll talk totally different conversation.
I'll talk together. But I mean, it's just back to the Nintendo thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a smart marketing move for Nintendo to pump that stuff out.
If they can price it right, then parents are like, here's a toy that for the most part, I don't even care if the kid trashes it. I got another one right here.
Yes.
And then we get to build it together, and we get to re-sticker it, and we get to recolor it. I mean, it could be a brilliant move. And I mean, there's going to be guys like you guys can't see the reverse angle here, but there's toys everywhere, and there's and there's things on display.
I'm a collector.
So the adult collector, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to walk around as a 36-year-old male in my living room with a robot suit.
Yeah, well, I mean, PlayStation VR, Chris is a big VR guy. I mean, you sit in your room with a big thing strapped to your head, you're swinging around all crazy and such.
I have videos of things I'm not proud of.
And I mean, you look silly, but it's fun. And I think the Labo games look fun. They do look interesting, but I'm worried about the staying power. That robot suit you pay the $80 for, let's say it holds up, and you finish that game. Will there be another game for that robot suit?
Probably not.
Or is it just dead?
I think that's it.
Is it just that's done and you move on to the next one?
But is the robot suit almost something like, say for like Dodge Chrysler bring out like the Dodge Viper? It's not really something that people are going to, I think, reference as like kind of the marquee of the company and like what people are actually buying. But it's a showstopper.
Yeah.
Is the robot suit like the imagination of Labo gone wild? Because it looks like when you watch this thing, it's crazy with all the arm pulleys and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, is your average kid gonna be able to like?
No,
really
you need an engineer degree to put it together. It looks like sometimes.
I've heard it's hard.
They
said it's quite complicated.
When you look at all the pulleys and stuff.
I've seen shots of them with the back off it, and you see what's inside that. It almost starts to borderline on not a kid product, which has always been kind of a line that Nintendo's walked, which is also an interesting topic, I think, along the same lines of the Labo, is that I think something that Nintendo has done an amazing job with the Switch is talking to different markets and not just being a kid system. I mean, you are seeing in their first year of launch, you've seen Skyrim, you've seen Doom, you're going to see Payday coming out.
Yeah.
I think they announced the Dark Souls remaster of the first one
coming to the Switch, which is
so
bonkers.
I mean, they're talking to adults. I remember the one thing that stood out for me when Switch did where Nintendo did the first commercial ever for the Switch. It was like the big, like, we're blowing out the doors here on the Switch. Something that someone mentioned was, did you notice that every single person in the commercial was in their 30s or at least late 20s? And they're like, that's a very interesting communication by Nintendo that there was not a kid in sight.
Yeah, and I think they did that by design, because if you look at the Wii U and the Wii even, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of the press and the commercials for it had children. And if there were adults, there were children with them. Yep. And you're right. In the Switch, it was an adult, going to a party, or an adult, in an airport, I think is one. And so it is I'm going to say it's a more adult. I'm not going to say it's adult as the fact like a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One.
No, but they do seem to be talking to, I would say, the late 2030s crowds that are like, hey, remember when you used to love Nintendo? It's like, we're back.
Yes.
Like, it's definitely kind of like, and not only that, but it's like, we're going to have these people bring it to their kids instead of kids bringing it to their parents.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting approach. And then you look at Labo through that lens, and it's like, I guess it makes sense.
It does. I'm going to call it indoctrinating a younger generation into the Nintendo ecosystem.
Yeah, and if you look at something like the robot suit, or like even the stuff that comes in the variety pack, for example, the piano, you need an adult. You need somebody.
Yes.
You can't, like, your 4-year-old is not going to put the piano together.
No.
So again, the marketing brilliance of Nintendo, it's like, we're bringing parents and kids together now because they need to work together. And then, parents are going to be like, oh, this is pretty fun.
I think Nintendo got their marketing well on this console. They did very well. I mean, when you look at the big three, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, I mean, PlayStation and Xbox came out of the gate running years ago, and Xbox dropped the ball hard.
No.
I mean, nobody on the internet can fight that when they started. The Xbox One was a train wreck day one.
And here comes the comments.
Yeah. But it's true. I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I have an Xbox One. Or a PS4 fanboy. I have an Xbox One. I have a PS4. I have a Switch. I have a PC. I've got them all. I like them all. But the original Xbox One launch was trash.
Yeah. And
PlayStation owned it when they came out, and that's why we are in the current climate of Xbox trailing PlayStation. When the Wii U shipped, their marketing was again garbage. Nobody knew if it was a good system or not. And the Switch really learned from that. Nintendo learned from that and capitalized, and they were very pinpoint accurate. And I think they are trying now to be more differentiation in their demographic and capitalizing on the adults who love Nintendo, and then now the kids who, Nintendo, what's this Nintendo? I just know a Switch. Cool. And they're going to bring these fun games and sort of let them grow up, because you grew up with Nintendo. Yeah. I grew up with Nintendo.
Yeah, definitely the Nintendo crowd.
We're the Nintendo age group.
I mean, I'm sure that you can attest to this, but I was definitely guilty of, even once I became kind of a PlayStation fanboy, which is what I jumped to when I saw that the Sega Saturn, because I was a Sega Genesis boy. I had Nintendo before that. But I remember that when I saw the PlayStation coming out, I'd still end up saying to my parents, and especially my parents who didn't know any better, they'd be like, "Oh, you're going to play Nintendo." I mean, that was
That's right.
That was the staple of people, like, and that kind of got lost a little bit. You do hear, "I'm going to play Xbox. I'm going to go play PlayStation."
Yeah.
I think that Nintendo's really trying to bring it back and going, "I'm going to go play Switch."
I'm going to go play Switch, and I agree, because I say that to my wife. I say I'm going to go down and play Switch.
Yeah.
I don't say I'm going to go down and play video game. I say I'm going to go down and play Switch. And that's what I go down and I play Switch.
And now she's going to be like, "You're going to go put on your robot suit, aren't you?"
I'm going to go put on my robot suit.
Yeah.
Just my robot suit.
Oh, but only in the bedroom.
But only in the bedroom. And I'm just going to start flailing around with pulleys and stuff all over me. So it's going to get really awkward. Yeah, you're right. But I think Nintendo has... The Switch is undoubtedly fantastic. The Labo will remain to be seen. It's a matter of, I think, quality. I hope the quality is good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Good
I think
enough.
That's really what it comes down to. And then, like we said, is part of their long-term plan is resale of materials.
Of materials.
Because I'm going to guess it is. I mean, no one's really talked about how robust these games are.
Yeah.
Engadget had, when they were on site, I mean, these games were being demoed, and they're like, they're fun.
Yeah.
Like, the motorcycle game, it looked good. It graphically looked good. It looked comparable at a first glance to, like, Mario Kart, like, graphics-wise. But is it going to have, like, is it going to be as robust a game as Mario Kart? I'm going to guess not.
No. Yeah.
Is the fishing game going to play like a game that you would download off the Google Play Store or the Apple Store? Probably for its depth, yeah.
Probably.
But again, and so this brings us right back to the beginning. Is it gimmicky? Yes.
Straight up.
It is gimmicky.
But
I don't think you're going to see a lot of deep games.
I've said it on this channel before. I'm a sucker for gimmicks. I like the gimmicks. I think it shows creativity. And some people are like, no, it's stupid. But I like the creativity. And this is creative on Nintendo's part. Again, just a matter of can they capitalize? Can they keep it going? And I think now that we say this and we're talking about this, I feel it's like the printer ink sort of scenario where they sell a printer for a loss, but once you've got their printer, Epson or HP or whoever, then they're going to sell you that ink, and that's where they make their money back.
I'm almost surprised they're not selling these for cheaper. Although that being said, the variety pack has quite a bit in it. Like
$80. Or really, $60 to $80.
I mean, really, when you think about like what they're offering, is it's like $80 Canadian. You're going to get like 5 games, 5 mini games basically. And like in 5 toys that are going to allow you to like have an RC car and then fish and then play with a little house and then like play piano. And I've heard Engadget said the piano is actually pretty awesome. Yeah. Like the way it works when they kind of show it working is that you build these cardboard keys, but they have like some type of like looks like decals that go on the inside of the keys that the IR blasters on the controllers, they can read it. On the inside of the box, and they said it's like actually quite amazing how responsive it is, and that people who knew how to play piano were actually starting to do like chords and melodies.
That's cool. It's cool.
Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I think something you brought up that I just was thinking about was the question of third party. Yeah, is not so much third party making cardboard substitutes, but is Nintendo going to open the door to third parties making games?
I hope so.
And then are releasing cardboard, or does Nintendo release the cardboard? Is it going to have to be third party but exclusive? I would say yes. Yeah, that's a definite. That could be awesome. I mean, Nintendo has learned their lesson. I think they've shown that.
Well, look at Raving Rabbids from Nintendo. I mean,
oh my gosh,
they let out a Nintendo character to Ubisoft, made a game, and everyone's like, "What do you mean Mario and Raving Rabbids? That's stupid." And it's fantastic. It's a great game.
And I've read interviews with with some of the developers that worked on that, and they said Nintendo was quite hands off. They had quality standards that Nintendo's known for, but they did say, "Don't make a Mario game."
Yeah, and they didn't.
Awesome.
Yes.
They made a game that was very much Nintendo and very much not Nintendo.
Yeah, and if Nintendo, I guess, adopts that same stance with third party for the Labo, maybe we will have. Maybe lightning can strike the same place twice. I just don't want to see it go the way of the Kinect. Because the Kinect, 2 systems, Xbox One and the Xbox 360, it never caught on. And everybody wanted it to.
They really tried.
They tried. They pushed.
Even I'm guilty of that. When I saw the Xbox One, I remember saying to you, I was like, "Oh, but voice control. Yeah, I can tell it to pause my movies."
Was it neat? Yes. Was it poorly implemented? I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the best. I mean, we're getting off topic a little bit, but I would say that the best that Xbox ever did with Kinect was version 2 on the Xbox One. They brought out a Kinect. What did they call it? It was like a Kinect Sports, but it was all extreme sports. It was jet skiing and climbing and bowling, and it was the only game I think that it was developed by Rare, because Rare was for like the last decade has pretty much only been making Kinect games. They've been underutilized like crazy.
Stupid.
So, Sea of Thieves is going to be an amazing, I think, release of Rare's talents again. But anyways, I digress. They with this game, they actually capitalized on the Kinect's ability to track skeletal structure, so they could track individual hands and not just like bulky arms and legs like the original Kinect did. So yeah, I mean, I remember sitting there playing the jet ski games and going like this and having the jet ski like rev up. I mean, and bowling, being able to actually throw a spin on the ball. Yeah. But again, it was never capitalized.
It was never capitalized.
And it wasn't enough.
And I think that hurts video game companies when they put a product out like that and then they abandon it.
They have to support it.
They have to support it past the initial launch.
I mean,
and I think Labo needs to have that, and they need to support it because it causes brand mistrust.
Well, Sony knows all about that. You don't want it to be another Sony Eye, another Sony Move, another Vita.
Another Vita. Or the PSP even. I mean,
the PSP had some amazing games.
Had some great games. And so did the Vita. But it didn't get... I mean, the Vita they basically just let die.
Although, that being said, I have heard that the PSP's saving grace... yes, it had a ton of great games. It had a lot of great games, much longer lifespan-wise than the Vita did. But I heard that it was them being able to jailbreak the PSP that actually gave it legs because it was playing everything.
Yeah, but that can hurt them though too.
And it did.
Then Sony doesn't get the money.
It artificially makes the PSP look like it had a longer lifespan, even though I would imagine from a pure software sales, it sure dropped. But yes, Sony has a reputation. I think that, different conversation. Big VR fan here. PlayStation VR is what I'm using with VR, and Sony, I think, has very much known that if they did not support this fully,
it would die.
Not only would it die, but they couldn't afford the reputation hit because they're another company that seems to be right now doing all the right things.
Yes.
But I think, again, Nintendo, Labo, it's like they don't want to be another one of that kind of like almost becomes shovelware where, we all, for all of us that grew up in the last 2 decades, it's like Sega had, I don't know what they called it, but they had like a gun. There was the Nintendo Super Scope.
Yeah.
We talked about the Sega CD, the 32X, the Virtual Boy.
Just a ton of stuff that got thrown to market.
First party stuff, like stuff coming by the company.
That was their business plan all along, was throw as much as they could at the wall, and whatever stuck, fantastic. I think the Super Scope for Nintendo Super Nintendo had like 2 games or 3 games.
But the thing is that all of these things that we just mentioned, including the 32X and Sega CD, like they had their merits. They could have been good if they had been supported properly.
I don't think the Power Glove ever could have been good.
But it was so awesome.
you gotta love the glove. Yeah, and for any of those that don't know that reference, please go watch The Wizard. It's a fantastic movie, and one day we'll do a review on a movie or something, because The Wizard is great with Fred Savage and Super Mario Bros. 3, and
it's everything that was awesome about video games in the 80s.
Yes. If you haven't watched it, rent it, buy it, stream it, whatever watch it.
Power Gloves are going for about $400 on eBay, and that's like, they don't even work, and they're not even in their boxes. They're awesome.
But they're cool looking. If I had one, I'd wear it
they
just
still
for
look
funsies.
Awesome. Like,
so, back to the whole Labo thing, I guess we got to wrap this video up because we're going a little bit long. So, the final question, Chris, are you going to get one?
Yeah, but you and I are really bad people to be asking that to, because we're kind of video game and tech whores. Yes. Do I think that they're going to sell well? I think they're going to sell insane. Mark my words, this coming Christmas, Labo is going to be insane. It's going to be everywhere. Walmart's going to be whoring themselves out to it. It is going to be the gadget, the toy for next year.
Do you think Nintendo will be smart and ship a Switch with a Labo as a bundle for Christmas, next Christmas?
I think it's going to be.
I think that'd be smart.
I think that the days of we're starting to see a little bit more now. Like when we grew up, it's like you got a Nintendo and you got Mario and Duck Hunt or something. Everything came with like a controller and a game, and we really got away from that, like pushing a console with a game. The Switch pretty much did that with Zelda. But they also didn't give you any other choice.
I think it was one of the only few launch games, and it was.
But you're seeing bundles.
Best.
You're seeing bundles come with systems now. They're almost for the collectors rather than pushing systems. But yes, I think that you're going to see this Christmas. I think you're going to see bundles. It's going to be the Switch bundle. It's going to be definitely going after that market that hasn't jumped on board yet. I think they're going to be giving away the Labo, whatever the bundle is, pretty much for free.
Get it in the hands of the consumer.
But I think the question is not so much, are we going to buy it? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it going to sell this Christmas? Yes. The question is it going to be selling well come 2019's Christmas? Because that is the question.
Yeah.
Is Labo going to be? Is it going to be around? Is it going to be a thing, or are we going to look back at it a couple of years from now and just go, yeah, that was that other thing that Nintendo did?
Remember that Labo thing, dust it off, and I don't think it'll have staying power till 2019. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to do a review on it. I'm going to play it with my son, my wife, myself. Yeah, I'm going to have a panic with it. But I don't see it lasting for a year. I don't see Nintendo supporting it. I hope they do. I hope I'm 100% wrong, because I'm a video game fanboy. I want Nintendo to be better, because that just forces Microsoft and PlayStation to be better. And having, a 2-horse race isn't very good. Having a 3-horse race, that's going to make these game developers and just what they do with them, they're going to be forced to think.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo is positioning themselves in the way that I think that they have wanted to position themselves probably since the GameCube, definitely since the Wii, was we want you to buy one of the 2 big systems, like the big systems, like one of the 2 more adult, full-featured,
PS4, Xbox One, or PC.
Yeah,
you exactly one of those PC, 3,
and PC, and a Switch.
And a Switch.
That's how they've always positioned themselves. This is probably the most successfully they've done that with, especially with the portability. I mean, who doesn't want to take a dump and play their Switch? I mean, that is.
I agree. It's odd. It's
I have
weird,
so many more dump hours on my Switch than actually sitting on the couch hours. It's unbelievable. I mean, it takes me back to my Tetris days in the Game Boy.
Yes.
But anyways,
and we're gonna trademark the phrase "dump hours." I think we need to own dump hours.
Yeah, that's an all talk together thing.
That's an all talk together thing now. Yeah, dump hours.
But anyways, I think that is they're successfully marketing themselves like that. It's what Nintendo does.
It's what Nintendo does. Nintendo's a marketing genius. They had a stumble with the Switch, with the Wii U. They've come back hard with the Switch. It's selling gangbusters. I mean, it beat the Wii U in the lifetime sales of Wii U in the first year.
Right off the bat, yeah.
Done, which is fantastic. I don't see Nintendo with the Switch slowing down, but I think the Labo is going to be a little bit of a hiccup for them. But it will bring in some younger audience, some younger gamers, which I think the industry needs. And it's something different. It's not your Call of Duty. It's not your Battlefield. It's something that's going to be new and exciting, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
Yep. The killer app for the Labo is going to be when they decide to bring out like a cardboard, like basically a Google Cardboard for the Switch. And I mean, I'm joking because we have a VR thing between the two of us. But that being said, this is not completely out of the realm of possibility that Labo's going to bring out like a Google Cardboard where you throw the Switch in the front of it, you pop this thing on your head, and they deliver basic VR experiences.
It would be very basic. I mean, I guess they do it with phones.
But I was saying Google Cardboard.
Google Cardboard.
I mean, it is more powerful than a phone.
I hope Nintendo doesn't do that.
So do I.
For no other reason than I don't want Nintendo to be a follow-along company.
And I don't want that to be what people think VR is. There's
like,
already enough of that with, especially in the US, you're starting to see just like crap VR boxed up and put into stores, and people like, this is a VR experience, and it's like even the Samsung the Gear
VR,
it's not a great representation.
No, it's not
what the gaming possibilities are. So anyways, I digress.
We'll talk about VR in another episode because we've got a VR thing going on for sure. So Chris says he's gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. I hope you guys out there get one. I hope we show Nintendo some support. If you don't, that's fine too, but I hope you do.
And please, down below in the comments, let us know what you guys think. I'm very curious of what the our age group is thinking about Labo for themselves, for their kids,
for anybody.
Again, like all talk together. We want to talk. With you.
That's why the tagline is join the community, right? Have a community. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment. Again, I do want to give away that $50 Amazon gift card for
that would sell it.
That would sell it for 500 subscribers. Once that's done, I will be doing something else. I'm going to start to do giveaways a little bit more consistently, but I need to get my numbers up a little bit just because this stuff's a little expensive. And for right now, I'm basically just making it rain out of my own pocket, and my wife is going to leave me. No, she's not. She loves me, I hope. And so again,
she brings
guys,
him apples while he plays video games
and she
at
cuts
night.
them up so I can eat them. Yeah. No, so guys, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. I love to hear back from you, and that's it for us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Talk soon.
See you guys in the next one.